Kubiak, you know it's true. Ooh, 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 we love you. Most of the time. We'll see. But Gary Kubiak, when he came over as offensive czar and assistant to the regional head coach last year, everyone kind of knew he was the de facto offensive coordinator, even though Kevin Stefanski rightfully held that title. But now with Stefanski in Cleveland and the Kubiak offensive thing of the past, which is a shame because I have to get as much mileage out of this Photoshop as possible. Boom. How will the 2020 Vikings offense look with Kubiak calling the plays? Like last year, it really was a collaboration where I don't think it was a system of too many cooks or a case of too many cooks in the kitchen or Kubiak just like looking over Stefanski's shoulder like that. It was not a Pat Shurmur, Norv Turner situation. It was not that at all, right? Where Stefanski, when he finally got the offensive coordinator job from Zimmer, like he wanted some sort of veteran presence. Because remember, Stefanski got the job before the Kubiak contingent, where it would be Kubiak the elder, Kubiak the younger, Brian Periani, as well as Rick Dennison before they came in. Because he wanted that. Like he wanted that wise elder sage. Plus, he was boys with Clint Kubiak, so that also helped too. So I think game planning was certainly a collaborative effort. And again, props to Kevin Stefanski for putting his ego aside. He could have just been like, hey, this is my job. I just want a bunch of slappies here. I'm calling the plays. I'm the cook. I'm doing this, right? But Stefanski was calling the plays on game day, even though during the week game planning, it was a big collaborative effort. Everyone had their spoons in that gumbo, which is fine. I mean, so what's the 2020 Vikings offense going to look like now that Stefanski is out of the picture? I think it'll be looking pretty similar, right? So it's basically, say you have two people ordering at Chipotle, right? So you have the same ingredients, you have the same general gist of things, and the combinations are going to be slightly different. Like say Stefanski was barbacoa with guac and extra sour cream. Kubiak was carnitas bowl because he's watching the carbs, as well as got the corn salsa. A little bit of carbs is okay, right? Still good, still fresh, still delicious, still Chipotle, but just slightly a little bit different. I think that's what the Vikings are going to experience in 2020 because Kubiak's been there, done that, got the t-shirt, boom. He's been calling plays and been an offensive mastermind for years, right? And also, I do like that he's a guy who's very secure in who he is. Like he's not some young buck. He's not some sort of John DeFilippo out there just trying to prove himself, prove that he's the smartest guy in the room, do this, do that, right? So, no. Because the Vikings offense, at times, it was very good last year. I think overall, pretty damn solid as well. Despite a meh line as well as injuries to Thielen and Dalvin throughout various points of the year. But overall, they're 8th in the NFL in scoring. They're 5th in net yards per attempt passing. They're 6th in total rushing, and they're 6th in percentage of drives ending in a score. So, pretty decent, pretty okay at times. And it's not bad. So keeping most of those elements, the West Coast timing and rhythm passing game, trying to get Thielen and Jefferson as much yards after catch as possible. Kubiak, play action boot, the hallmark of his offense is the zone running scheme. Do it. You have the personnel that's catered and tailored to that scheme, so why not stick with it, right? Also, I mean, what's Kubiak going to do? Is he suddenly going to go Air Coryell or put in some Earnhardt Perkins? Like, I'm changing things up. Like, Kubiak, I'm like, all right, having like the midlife crisis, like, all right, changing everything. I'm getting a Ferrari. I'm going to dye my hair. Wait, he already dyes his hair? It doesn't matter. But I think the verbiage and concepts will remain the same just because having that continuity, especially with the Rona going on, with no OTAs, potentially truncated training camp too. I think that teams that do have continuity on offense are going to have a big advantage early, right? Plus, personnel-wise, will be slightly different. I don't think you'll see as many like moonshot bang eights as there were with Diggs, although I think Thielen and or Jefferson could step into that role nicely. But also, if they cater to what Jefferson does well, like in-breaking option routes over the middle, something Jefferson is very, very good at. I think he'd become Kirk Cousins' sort of security blanket over the middle, right? Plus, you are going to see, just like last year, a lot of 12, a lot of 22 personnel, a lot of 2 tight ends on the field. Kyle Rudolph still has it, as well as Irv Smith Jr. as he keeps leveling up. I think you may see more Irv. I mean, hell, just Irv out wide, Irv in the slot, just looking for that mismatch. I think you'll see a lot more 84 in that respect. Also, the run game, So the run game, we talk about the zone concepts, outside zone, blah blah blah. So I actually think that they may go even heavier with the zone concepts because personnel may precipitate that, especially with if Ezra Cleveland does start, which I think he probably should, because they look last year. Vikings ran zone 68% of the running plays in 2019. But also, if you look at Kubiak's Texans teams and also back in Denver, back in the day, sort of discounting the Denver when he was head coach because that was more like a Peyton Manning offense. But so throw that out. But it was almost 80%. It was almost 4/5 were zone running concepts because Kubiak and Dennison. I think they will channel legendary offensive line coach Alex Gibbs, who, if it was up to Gibbs, like he would have 2 running plays in the playbook. He would have wide zone right and wide zone left. Did I get those directions right? I may be on video, but it really doesn't matter. But I think you will see, just on game day, I think you will see a lot more in-game as well as halftime adjustments just because Gary Kubiak, he's been calling plays for 2+ decades. And even though Stefanski was good, at times you did see that he was a little bit green, a little bit raw, but that comes with experience. That comes with seasoning, right? And with Kubiak, his hands were already all over the game plan, and now you have a steady veteran hand at the helm on game day. I think it will only benefit the Vikings because I think Stefanski did a great job last year. There's a reason why he got the Browns head coaching job, respect. But I think overall the Vikings offense will look similar to what it did last year, but last year was the beta version. This year is a version ready for release. So I'm really excited and fired up to see what Gary Kubiak is going to do with his offense. All right, your thoughts. Vikings offense 2020, what's it going to look like? Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Pull us up on the Venmo. Please give us a follow on social media as well. But until next time, Skull Production Value.